In case you're unfamiliar, Ubuntu 6.06 LTS was the first LTS release of Ubuntu, and Ubuntu 20.04 LTS is the latest LTS version of Ubuntu. Now, one feature of Ubuntu is the ability to upgrade to a later release without doing a full reinstallation. And when you think about it, upgrading the first LTS release of Ubuntu all the way to the latest is totally possible, at least in theory. Which got me thinking, can you actually upgrade Ubuntu 6.06 all the way to 20.04 in practice, like in real life? Now, the only thing is, you can't just upgrade it directly from 6.06 to 20.04. You have to go incrementally. You have to go 6.06 to 8.04, 8.04 to 10.04, and so on and so forth, until you reach 20.04. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so now I got a fresh installation of Ubuntu 6.06, and I've done nothing with it yet, aside from disabling the screensaver. So now what I'm going to do first is go into OpenOffice word processor. Remember, this is before LibreOffice was released. And I'm doing this just to create a document to keep track of our upgrade process. So I'm actually going to choose a better looking font that I know for a fact stuck around with Ubuntu for every LTS release, just to make sure our document would show up properly. Free sans works fine. And then we'll just put 6.06, and then we'll save this to our desktop as Ubuntu releases. Let's save that. And it's right there on our desktop. Now this file should stick around and maintain its integrity throughout the entire upgrade process, which is the whole point of the upgrade process, so that way you can keep your files going from one Ubuntu version to the next. But anyway, let's actually start the upgrade process, going from 6.06 to 8.04 by going to System, Administration, Update Manager, punch in our password, and actually we have to get our 6.06 system up to date first before it'll even show us the upgrade option. So let's do that real quick. And actually, it's not showing any updates because we had not configured the system to use the old releases repository. So now I'm going to take this opportunity to correct a mistake I made in my Ubuntu 8.04 installation first impressions video. So let's go into Applications, Accessories, Terminal, then do a sudo nano /etc apt sources.list. And then what we need to do is replace us.archive.ubuntu.com with old releases.ubuntu.com, and then we just uncomment the line. And then we repeat this process for every line beginning with deb. I'll meet you once I'm done. Alright, so now that that's done, we'll just Control-X to save and exit this. Then let's go back in our update manager, then check for updates. And there we go. This shows that it is possible to get updates for old Ubuntu releases. My apologies for not noticing this sooner. This is what you get when you don't do your research before installing a legacy operating system. Now, of course, you only get updates that were released up to the end of life of the old release, which in this case happened in 2009. But anyway, since we need to do this update to start our upgrade process, let's just go ahead and install these updates. Now, this will take a while, so I'll speed this up. Alright, so now that our update's complete, we can just close out of this, and there are no other updates. So let's go ahead and restart the system since it's asking us to. Alright, now that we've rebooted the system, let's go back to our update manager, and now it shows us an upgrade option. Let's just quickly check to make sure that there are no other updates. Nope. Alright, so now let's go ahead and click upgrade. Click upgrade again, and it seems so far so good. Oh, getting upgrade prerequisites failed. That's not a good sign. Don't worry, this doesn't mean our upgrade process is done. I'm gonna do a workaround in terminal. First of all, let's cd into our temporary folder and see what's in there. And then what we're looking for is the file beginning with tmp, followed by 6 random letters and numbers. I'm gonna go do a cd tmp / that folder, then see what's in there. And now let's look at what's in our prerequisite sources.dapper.list by doing a sudo nano tmp whatever / prerequisites sources.dapper.list. punch in our password. And actually, it's trying to get it from archive.ubuntu.com, which doesn't exist anymore for 6.06. So we got to change this to oldreleases.ubuntu.com. Then let's save and quit. And now I'm going to need to log in as root by doing a sudo -i. Then let's cd into that directory again, and then do /hardy --mode equals desktop -- front end equals dist upgrade view text. Then hit enter, and now let's see how this goes. Alright, seems so far so good. Let's hit Y, then hit enter, and then let this process go. Alright, now let's go ahead, start this upgrade. Alright, and the upgrade process will ask for some details, like what encoding we want to use. Rule of thumb, if you're not sure, just leave it as is. Hit enter, there we go. Alright, looks like that upgrade went well, so let's just remove any obsolete software and restart the system and boot into our Ubuntu 8.04 installation. Alright, so now we're in Ubuntu 8.04. The first thing I want to do, actually, is go into System, Preferences, Screen Resolution, and then scale it up to my screen's native resolution. There we go. So now it'll be full screen from here on out. So now before we continue with this upgrade process, let's go into Ubuntu releases.odt that we placed on our desktop back in 6.06, and 6.06 is still there. Let's add a new line that says 8.04, acknowledging that we made it to 8.04, then save that, and close out of OpenOffice. Then let's go to System, Administration, Update Manager. It'll give us this friendly reminder that our distribution is not supported anymore. Let's just quickly make sure that there are no other updates. Nope. So let's click on this upgrade. Alright, seems to be doing nothing. I'm not 100% sure why it does this, but I think it's because the system's trying to upgrade us from 8.04 directly to 12.04, which is not possible, since there's no upgrade tool to go to 12.04 to 8.04. There's only one to go to 10.10 from 8.04. So the easiest workaround is actually to use a Ubuntu 10.04 alternate ISO. Let's open that up, and then it'll open it up in the file browser. Let's close out of that, and then it'll give us the option to run the upgrade. Now it'll only give you this option if you're using the alternate ISO. If you're using the regular ISO, it won't give you this option. But anyway, let's just click run upgrade. Yes, let's include the latest updates from the internet, and it's going to complain that it can't find a valid mirror. We're going to rewrite our sources.list file anyway and continue with this upgrade. It's telling us that support for some applications ended. Let's just close out of this. And it seems so far so good, so we're going to start this upgrade. Alright, so now let's just click forward, forward, and continue with the upgrade. And don't worry about this error. And let's replace this configuration file. Alright, and looks like this upgrade went well so far, so let's remove any obsolete packages and restart the system and boot into our Ubuntu 10.04 installation. And let's get my display scaling properly by going to monitors and changing the resolution to my native screen resolution. And there we go. And at this point we can eject the 10.04 alternate ISO, and then let's go back into our Ubuntu releases file, and then we'll add a line that says 10.04 to acknowledge that the upgrade was successful, then save that. And just to complete the upgrade, let's just click this update. There we go. Now it looks a little bit more like a 10.04 installation. Anyway, let's go into System, Administration, Update Manager. It's going to complain that the release isn't supported anymore. Okay, let's try to close out of this. Let's just force quit this and go into accessories terminal. I don't know why the update manager is not working, but anyway, let's just do a do release upgrade, then hit enter. Okay, looks like the upgrade for whatever reason just stopped running, so let's just close out of this and try to work around this by doing a sudo nano etc /update manager /release upgrades.d /onauth.cfg. Then hit enter. Then I'm gonna type in distro allow unauthenticated equals yes. Could just be that the upgrade's not signed. But anyway, let's just hit Y, enter, there we go. And then we'll try doing our do release upgrade again. Okay, now it seems so far so good. I did notice quite a few 404 not found errors, so maybe that's why the update manager is not working. But anyway, let's start this upgrade and see how this goes. Alright, then we just hit enter here. Alright, and I don't know what this is asking us, so let's just hit the red X. Alright, and so far it seems like that upgrade went well, so let's remove any obsolete packages. And then restart the system. And there we go. Now that we're in our Ubuntu 12.04 installation, let's actually go to displays and then upscale it to 1360 by 768. Not exactly my native screen resolution, but close enough. And then we'll go into our Ubuntu releases.odt file, this time in LibreOffice. And then we'll write 12.04 onto a new line to acknowledge that we've upgraded to 12.04 successfully, and then close out of LibreOffice. Then let's go into Update Manager. Then we'll just check to make sure that there are no other updates. And since there are no updates to install, let's upgrade to 14.04. Click upgrade and enter our password. I'm not sure why the screen went completely black. And it's going to complain that our graphics hardware may not be fully supported in Ubuntu 14.04. We're going to continue the upgrade anyway. And it seems so far so good, so let's start the upgrade. Okay, and then let's replace this configuration file. Then let's actually install the package maintainers version of debconf. Alright, and it seems that this upgrade's successful, so we're going to remove the obsolete packages. Alright, now let's boot into our 14.04 installation. So now it's giving me these system problem detected errors. I'm really not sure why. Let's just ignore these and ask me later. But hey, this is actually the first release that I don't need to manually scale up. But anyway, let's just go into our Ubuntu releases.odt file. Then let's make a line that says 14.04 to acknowledge that we've successfully upgraded to Ubuntu 14.04. And there we go. So far we made it to 14.04, which looking at this release, to be honest with you, if I had been a Ubuntu user back in the day, this probably would have been my favorite Ubuntu release. So, we're out of time for now, but in part 2 of this video, which I'm planning to release on October 12th of 2020, I'll finish the upgrade process to 20.04. If it's already out at the time you're watching this video, it'll be linked in the thumbnail right there and down in the description. If you want to be one of the first to watch it, make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell icon and turn on all notifications for my channel, so that way you can be notified the second it comes out. But anyway, stay tuned.